get into very specific details. And I'm just going to run over this. I was just talking to my friend Lizzie about this, about Carroll versus United States. And when you go into Carroll versus the United States, you ask yourself, how could you create something so tyrannical? Because when you talk about Carroll versus United States, you get to the automobile exclusionary rule. The automobile exclusionary rule is what is going to allow the police to search your car without a warrant. And so you say to yourself, the foundation of our country, the Fourth Amendment, is based on the idea that we have the right to be secure in our persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. So we know that to be true. This is written. The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people. A lot of people forget that first line when you're talking about the Fourth Amendment, but I never do. It's the most important line of the Fourth Amendment. It is the right of the people. And so when you really get into the nitty gritty, you say, well, what's the right of the people? The right for them to be clear of unreasonable searches and seizures, that it shall not be violated, absolutely shall not be violated. So what is an unreasonable search or seizure? An unreasonable search or seizure is the automobile exclusionary rule from 1925. So you say to yourself, how in God's green earth did this come to pass? Well, what's going on? We know what's going on. You're going to have the 18th Amendment's going to pass through the congressional branch of government, and the executive signs it, doesn't sign it into effect. He vetoes it. Woodrow Wilson down here, you're going to see him down here by the prison line. He vetoes the 18th Amendment and says that if we create prohibition, you're just going to create a modern day prison industrial complex. That's what he said. Woodrow Wilson doesn't have a great reputation through history, but let me tell you something. He vetoed it was called the Volstead Act of 1919 is what it was called. And he vetoed it and said no. He was overridden in Congress. The checks and balances system that we have, the will of the people was to institute a mandate. So when you institute a mandate, what happens? You create a prison industrial complex because the most important thing is your mandate. That's what matters the most. So from 1920 to 1933, this is the rise in the prison industry. Each one of these white lines is 100,000 souls going to a dungeon. Now, back then, it wasn't quite the same dungeon it is today. It probably was worse. So it's never been a good thing. But let's get into the nitty gritty of understanding the automobile exclusionary rule. What exactly does this mean and how did it come to pass? Well, what happened in 1925, Carroll, I believe the wife's name was Diane, they were bootlegging alcohol up through Detroit. And so because a mandate had been passed that alcohol would be illegal and it would remain illegal, then what happened was the Supreme Court upheld the conviction when they pulled over Carroll and warrantlessly searched the car, claiming that they had had alcohol and caught them with alcohol previously, that they were already known by federal agents. And so in the Carroll, it's called the Carroll Doctrine to be specific. And what it did is it created the exigent circumstances clause, which the police can warrantlessly search your car or circumvent your rights if they feel as though there's going to be a loss of life, if they say that they're in hot pursuit or they're going to seize evidence off of you, specifically illegal or poisonous alcohol in 1925. And why would I say poisonous alcohol? Because the cultural context will lead you to understanding that J. Edgar Hoover, who's going to be the head of the FBI from 1924 till 1974, this man right here, J. Edgar Hoover began to poison the alcohol bottles when he took the realm of the FBI in 1924. So by 1925, all the Supreme Court heard was that alcohol bottles were poisonous and that people were poisoning alcohol bottles. Now, did they know that J. Edgar Hoover was doing that? I'm not sure. How could I possibly tell you? But we know it's a great big dirty boys club and you're not in it. So when you get to the Carroll Doctrine, you're actually reading the list of what the Carroll Doctrine creates from the 1925 Carroll versus United States case. This is the Carroll Doctrine right here, that the cops can search your car if they believe that you're transporting illegal alcohol that could be poisonous. And so, because it could cause a loss of life. And of course, if you are driving with alcohol, then they're in hot pursuit of you. What year did the Model T Ford come out? What year was that? Was it the 1915 or 1920 or 1925 Model T Ford? I think it's going to be, was it 1905? I'll flip the camera around for just a moment and say hello to everybody. How's everybody out there in YouTube land? Everybody hit the like button if you would, please. Forgive me, I'm not in my setup right now. I don't have any lighting. If you can barely see me, I apologize. Witch on Fire, good to see you guys. Everybody hit your like button just real fast. We got a premiere coming up at noon today. This was up on my channel just really briefly, and then I took it down because I wanted to put it together so you guys could really watch it and see exactly what I did using the trifold, because these border agents are going to have these guys pulled over on the side of the road, and I just go ahead and I jump right to the side of the road, because border patrol agents shouldn't have two young guys pulled over on the side of the road for no reason. And as you guys know, I'm not going to let tyranny happen in front of me when I have a camera and the amount of knowledge that I hold, and I'm not going to watch it happen. And so I stepped up and I stopped that whole thing, and they ended up driving away and letting those guys go. V Boyer, good to see you. Smack Crooked Pigs, it's good to see you. It's nice to see you. It's good to see everybody. I'm sorry there's no lighting. My laptop, no, it's okay. My laptop has a little bit of lighting, but you guys smash your like button. And remember, we got that premiere at noon, so that's in 23 minutes. What's up, Playboy? So I wanna just continue down this lesson, because I was talking to a friend and explaining to her exactly the origins of law. V Boyer, it's always good to see you. The origins of law is what matters the most. You know, without understanding the origins of law, then you don't understand how our country is in disarray today. And so for my white conservative friends, you know, you hate hearing that our laws are based on race, but if we don't first accept and acknowledge the fake history written by William Archibald Dunnan, that he taught at Columbia, William Archibald Dunnan, he's the man who wrote a fake history of the United States when he partnered with the Sisters of the Confederacy to whitewash history so that we wouldn't know exactly what had happened in the annuals of America. And now that the internet exists and we can all see each other on a level playing field, now we can see the truth, and the truth has no bounds. It will come out. You will see the truth reveal itself. And I'll tell you what, you guys are seeing it now more and more as I continue to expose the bad system of what's called law enforcement in the United States, and we are going to change it. I guarantee you, we are going to change it. So let me jump back into the history of Carroll versus United States, and I want you guys to understand the origins of law. And I was tying something together earlier for my friend when we talked about the Supreme Court and their role in creating this tyrannical police state, prison state, death state that we're being forced to live in. And I'm just not going to tolerate it. I mean, it was kind of crazy watching back the audit that I did yesterday when I pulled over in Muskogee and I talked to those 3 police officers. The amount of OCD that I witnessed myself go through when I saw those guys on the side of the road, that shows you that there's a level of concern for other citizens' well-being that we have to have for one another. Every time you see cops, you should film cops. Every time you see them, you should film them. You know, that it's just a simple fact of history. So now, as we continue down the road here, there was something I tied together earlier that I'm going to show you guys now. And so when the Carrolls were pulled over and their car was illegally searched without a warrant, the case, of course, then goes to the Supreme Court, and we all know it as Carroll versus United States, 1925 here. But the truth is that Carroll versus United States was doomed. And why was it doomed? Well, because when you look at who was in power in 1925, that's going to be the William Howard Taft court. And what do we know about William Howard Taft? William Howard Taft, this gentleman here, he was both president of the United States. I believe it's going to be 1908 to 1911, somewhere in there. I could be mistaken about that, somewhere in there, 1908, 1909. It'll bug me if I don't have it exact. So let's just zoom in on it. And William Howard Taft, I was correct. It was 1909 to 1913. So on the timeline here, you'll have the presidents and what party they were with and the whole thing. But William Howard Taft was a special kind of a-hole. He was one of the worst people in the history of our country. So he was president of the United States from 1909 to 1913, head of the Supreme Court from 1921 to 1930, but he was also president of the Philippines until from 1901 to 1905, I believe. And when he was in the Philippines, he set up concentration camps and rape camps. And there's so much raping of Filipino women that in the year 1965, I'm pretty sure it's 1965. I think I put it on this map. I can tell you this. It's the 1965 Immigration Act that because William Howard Taft had done so much raping of Filipino women over there when he set up the concentration camps, there was from the 1965 United States Immigration Act that was written by John Kennedy, but he would be assassinated before he could sign it, and Lyndon Johnson would sign those into effect. There was so much DNA in Filipinas that we have a huge influx of a Filipino population in America, largely because of this man's war crimes in the Philippines. So in case you guys didn't know, the Philippines was the last country that America tried to imperialize, where we tried to conquer another land and make it another colony of the United States. And that's going to be the Filipino War from 1899 to 1912. But we are going to get that from the 7-day war with Spain. And what's going to happen is when we conquer Spain in the 7-Day War, they are going to give us the Philippines as though they had a right to give away a sovereign nation with sovereign free people. But that's what they tried to do. And so we took the nation of the Philippines as though we were getting a bounty from the Spaniards. They didn't have a right to give the country away. And so then we tried to colonize the Philippines. That didn't work out. The Filipino people are a resilient, tough, tenacious, advanced people back then in the 1900. So we were unable to colonize it. But what William Howard Taft did is he set up concentration camps all over the Philippines, all over the islands. And then he set up those RAPE camps where he created the Filipino population. A lot of the Filipino population that we have here in the United States today is because of William Howard Taft's massive amount of raping. So there that is. There's a little historical fact. And then who was the only other president to set up concentration camps? Who was the only other president that we know of who set up concentration camps? I'll give you guys 10 seconds to answer that. What other United States president set up concentration camps right here in the United States of America? That president would have been, who was it? Who was it? Boom, you got it, FDR. Franklin Delano Roosevelt set up concentration camps here on the urging of from Earl Warren. Earl Warren, this tyrant right here, he came and he convinced FDR to lock up 100,000 Japanese under the name of national security. That's right. So that's just the simple fact of the matter. Everybody hit the number 1 button. Let me know where you're watching from. Just type that right here. I'm looking at your comments. Hit the like button if you would, pretty please. And we are 16 minutes from the premiere coming out. We are 16 minutes from the premiere. If you would, pretty please. Everybody hit that like button. Just takes you a second. Okay, so now we're back here and we're still talking about Carroll versus the United States, which is far more important than qualified immunity by about I would say a marathon. If you had to run it yourself, Carroll's more important than qualified immunity by a marathon. You know, Carroll helps contribute to the modern day industrial prison complex. See, these have a direct correlation, whereas qualified immunity does not have a direct correlation to millions of people living in a dungeon. You see that? You see that prison arc right there? That has nothing to do with qualified immunity. That has to do specifically with Terry versus Ohio, which is, of course, the stare decisis, which is the case precedent, or the some people might call it the jurisprudence, even though that's the system, is Carroll versus United States that makes Terry versus Ohio possible. You can't have Terry versus Ohio without having Carroll versus the United States. So that it's an important thing for you guys to understand, And so now you have William Howard Taft, and he's going to be the guy that upholds the Carroll holding that says they can just search your car without a warrant if they feel as though there's exigent circumstances. And who's going to be the decider of exigent circumstances? The state is. The state actors. those men and women who we hire to be the state actors. Johnson versus Glick, 1980. So this is where Australia Johnson, again, this case is based on racism. So if you are thrown down the stairs, as Australia Johnson was thrown down the stairs, he was beaten up by the prison guards. And so he sued Warden Glick. The case is going to be held in 1980. And so, again, you always want to make sure that you know which Supreme Court did that. And so you're looking at the Burger Court. William Burger, Warren Burger, excuse me. Warren Burger was the head of the Supreme Court from 1969 to 1986. He goes down in history as one of the bottom 5 Supreme Court justices of all time. And part of that reason is because of the 1980 case of Johnson versus Glick. You see. So, yeah. Yep. So Johnson versus Glick, what this does is, so when you sue a prison guard for deprivation of rights, then you sue them under a 1983. What 1980 Johnson versus Glick did is they ruled against Australia Johnson and ruled in favor of the Warden Glick, and said in the holding, I don't remember the whole holding, but I remember part of it, and it said that the guards in jail have a right to keep order. And this is going to, again, be written by the Burger Court, which is just horrifically bad. A horrifically bad holding, just all bad. So that, that's why when I talk to you guys about going to jail, in the event that you are going to go to jail, you need to become a beta male. You need to become quiet. You need to become reserved and powerful in yourself. Keep yourself contained, because of the 1980 holding of Johnson versus Glick, there is absolutely no limit to what the guards can do to you. And then you have the use of force continuum in 1989, Graham versus Connor. But the Johnson versus Glick, if you go to prison or you go to jail, shut the F up and don't do anything stupid. Shut up. Listen, every time I go to jail, I make a deal with those guys that I will be respectful to you if you are going to be respectful to me, and I will not resist you guys. I will do anything you ask me to do within the boundaries of what is acceptable for my person. And one of those boundaries is I will not be strip searched. You are not going to bend me over on a wall. You are not going to look up my backside. That's not going to happen. And if you think that's going to happen, then I'm afraid you guys are going to have to hurt me to do it. I'm not doing it. I don't have any drugs up my bottom. I don't have anything stuffed up the tip of my penis. You're not looking up my orifices. You're not doing it. And if you're going to kill me to do it, then go ahead. But there's nothing up my bottom, and I'm not going to do it. And I've told them that, and I'm very clear about it. There's no reason for you to look up my naked backside. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And when we collectively, as a group of people, have to agree universally that you looking up the backsides of people when they're booked into jail isn't solving the war on drugs, you're not helping anybody, nobody. You looking up people's backsides only creates a bigger divide between the people of this country and those who claim to be rights protectors and upholding of rights and the defenders of rights, and also bringing justice to those people whose rights have been violated. So as we move forward here, we are 10 minutes away, guys. 10 minutes away till that premiere comes on. 10 minutes away on this Sunday. 10 minutes away till the premiere comes on. It's 11:50. So now when we take a look at the cultural context of understanding how the automobile exclusionary rule was happening, you get into the nitty-gritty details. And so, what's going on right there in 1914 to 1918, the ending of World War I, where we wouldn't give an inch. We had to fight to the death. It was horrifically terrible. And so then you have Prohibition passing from 1920 to 1933. So we come out of a hard war where women are now entering the workforce because we're running out of men. And then we have the Prohibition, the Volstead Act from 1919 that's going to come into effect in 1920 with the 18th Amendment. It's going to be abolished in 1933 with the 21st Amendment. And so you have in power here, you have William Howard Taft, who's just left the Philippines and rape camps, and he's president of the United States 1909 to 1913. So this guy figures that he is the best thing since sliced bread. He's a terrible, terrible lead. Because you know this because in Olmsted versus the United States, when J. Edgar Hoover is tapping into the phones of Roy Olmsted, Howard Taft upholds that and says, "Oh yeah, you can go ahead and tap into phones. Fourth Amendment be damned." That's what he writes in his holding. Civil liberties be damned. If we catch you breaking the law, or was that Oliver Wendell Holmes who wrote that? Oliver Wendell Holmes is one of those characters in history that, in Ivy League schools, this is Oliver Wendell Holmes. They worship this guy. When you hear the law classes, when you research law classes online, this guy is idolized. You read the holdings that he participated in. Oliver Wendell Holmes is going to be on the Supreme Court for, I think, damn near 27 years. He's a horrifically terrible guy. Horrifically terrible. But he was an abolitionist, and he fought in the Civil War with Lincoln when he was just a kid, very, very young. And so he's going to write in Olmsted versus United States in 1928, civil liberties be damned. And Olmsted versus the United States is what makes it so that the FBI can tap into our phone lines for 38 years until the Katz case, until Katz in 1967. Katz versus United States 1967 is going to overrule Olmsted versus United States. The premiere is going to be on in 7 minutes. 7 minutes, and the premiere is going to be on 7 minutes. So, I'm actually laying in bed on this Sunday afternoon. I guess it's going to be afternoon very soon for everybody on the West Coast too. So how's everybody doing? There's only 60 likes on here. This is going to be a very small video, I suppose, but everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Good to see you, Rocco. How's everybody doing today? Are there any members in here? Let me do a roll call. Citizens Broadcast Cooperative. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. If you guys drop your name in here, I'll give you guys a roll call here. Terry, what's going on? Terry, none of your business, huh? Gloria, Random Country, what's going on, Playboy? Jay Vaughn, Bruce, good to see you, man. Good to see everybody. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. So the Patriot Act is going to tie into the discussion we're going to have about the 1994 crime bill. Good to see you, Ironton. Oh, crypto crackhead, man. That's okay, dude. Barry, what's going on? Mark, what's going on? Brian, how you doing, man? I can see you, Brian. Greg, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Terry, nice to see you. Shanta Spencer, nice to see you. Sergeant Mummy, good to see you. Oh, it's evening there. Good to see everybody. Delete lips, huh? Launchpad, always good to see you, Launchpad. How are you doing? We're just 6 minutes away from the premiere. I wasn't planning on dropping this today on Sunday, but it just got cleared. So I'm putting it up so you guys can. The tribe, what's going on? Good to see you, Barry. Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Everybody, let me know where Waldo is, if you would, please. Having a nice cup of Joe. What's going on, Playboy? Yeah, I can't wait for the fight either. I have to sign that contract and send it back. I was trying to see if I could reserve an allotment of tickets, but that's not really going anywhere, so I tried. Charlie Bear is with my buddy Tim. Charlie Bear, and I am with a different friend, and so we are just 5 minutes away from that premiere. We are 5 minutes away from the premiere. 5 minutes away. So let's find that. So that's that. That's that. Let me find that premiere. October terms, mail, Burger Court, Eastern District Court of Oklahoma. That. This is King versus Burwell, limits on the scope of major questions doctrine. This is question number 86. If you don't know what the major questions doctrine is, that's pretty interesting. So let's go here. There we go. So this is the premiere here. We can take that. There's 9 people waiting for this premiere. Let's, okay, got Troll Hunter over there, Eric Lancaster. Good to see everybody over here. What's going on, Greg? Good to see you over here in the premiere. Nice to see everybody. Nice to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Susie created another Susie account. Susie created another Susie account. Susie's blocked on 2 accounts. I mean, what's going on, Susie? What's going on? Tommy, good to see you. Greg, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Nice to see you, Raquel. Jack Connors, what's going on, Jack? How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I will drop this down in the. I'll put this link in the chat because we still got 5 more minutes before we go, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward. I want you guys to see this premiere and tell me what you think because the Border Patrol have some people pulled over on the side of the road, and I just decide that I need to probably, I need to join them. I need to help those young men out, and so I do exactly just that. And I will drop it right down there. There it is. There it is, citizens. Good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping that down in there. I appreciate that. There it is. And here's this link. I don't ever really have the computer in front of me. What's up, Chuck? How you doing, dude? Good old boy. What's going on, brother? How you doing, good old boy? Nice to see you, David. What's going on? Oh, delete Lawz. I dropped the link for the video coming out. You'll hear it come out on the it'll come out here. Can always tell when you're in a Chille chat because of the misspelled words. Good to see you, Chuck. I got some stuff coming. Good to see you, Massachusetts over there. Bob, how you doing, buddy? Bruce, nice to see you. Terry. Oh man, listen, you're fine, Terry. We just remember you guys know we're inundated with trolls. You guys know that. We're inundated with trolls. Except for on Sunday because the trolls have to go and do their laundry. I had to do my laundry today. So, what's up, Cope Dog? Cope Dog. Cope Dog. Cope Dog. What's going on with the Cope Dog? I didn't see your question above, man. I'm taking a look now. I don't see that question you wrote. Jack, Raquel, what's going on? Yeah, you gotta love the trolls, man. They're getting beat up in the comments finally. You guys are kicking their butts in the comments. Yeah, don't let them leave comments on the videos. Simon says, I said hello to you, dude. I said hello to everybody, Bob. Crypto Crackhead, what's going on, brother? It's going to be a couple years before I can take that bar, man. I got to jump through a bunch of Kissimmee. I wish I was a power bottom and I would have got paid. I would have got pizzade. You could have got, remember, I'm the Pamela Anderson for gay men, so I could have really made some money there in Hollywood. I really could have, but I didn't get that opportunity to be the power bottom that you hoped that I was. So with that being said, do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. Right on. Looking forward to this premiere coming out though. 22 people waiting. That's really, really cool. That is really, really cool. So I'm looking forward to this. I just pulled over. And did you guys see yesterday where the cop put the other cop in handcuffs? Did everybody get to see that? Did everybody get to see that? Bob, I have not signed the contract yet. I do have it. I have the contract. So I'm just working on a couple things with the fight promoter to try to get some things squared away. And then I will sign that fight contract. Barry, I hope you will be there in person. I'm super glad. Paul Lau, good to see you, dude. Good to see you, Random Country, V. Boyer. Jack Connors, what's going on, Knight Rider? Lou, what's going on, Loose Cut? Gloria, good to see you. Loose Cannon. Loose, didn't you get timed out a bunch of times yesterday? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. What's up, Playboy? We are 2 minutes away from the premiere. So let me go over here, and I'm just going to put this in right here. Here's the link to the premiere, everybody. There's the link to the premiere. There it is right there. There it is right there. I put the link to the premiere right there. I put the link. Click on that link and you'll leave the live and I'll see you guys over there. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. I put the link to the live. There it is. There it is. So we have that coming out right now. Minute and 18 seconds. I'll see you guys. Autobiography. I'll see you over there, Auto. Thank you for coming. Autobiography. What's going on? Jack Connors. Do me a favor, Jack. Meet me over at that premiere. Meet me in the comment section. We're 1 minute away from Wapner. We are 1 minute away from Wapner. The link is posted in the chat. Hit that link and let's get over there. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit the like button on this before you leave. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. Had a really good week with everybody this week. It was a great week. We got a lot done. 45 seconds away. 45 seconds till the premiere. I'm going to drop the link for the premiere right here. There it is. You guys can click on that link right there and meet me over here. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. There it is. Hey, deletes, if you change your icon to something that's not going to confuse people, I will re-add you, but I'm not going to add you with that icon because then people think you're me, and I don't want that, so I banned you from the channel. All right, talk to you guys soon. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, we don't stop. I'll see you guys in 10 seconds. Later, Gator.